So today we're talking about the VTuber Kirsche and a game that, to be honest, I hadn't heard of until this drama happened, Crime Boss Rockay City. So what happened is the VTuber Kirsche Verstahl had an article written about her called "Why is this gamer subs VTuber pushing the Great Replacement Theory?" The article says, "Meet Kirsche Verstahl, one of her fans is a bona fide Nazi." So basically what this article does is it goes around and tries to paint Kirsche as one of the worst people ever, and what she did to prompt this article, I guess, is talking about the Great Replacement Theory, which is basically the idea that white people are being demographically replaced in their own countries by importing millions of immigrants from other countries. So that is the accusation on Kirsche. Now let's actually look at the reference clip.
They're building like a 2.5 million pound mosque somewhere in like northern England that doesn't even have like a large Muslim population. And I was like, of course they are. Yeah, of course they are. I get increasingly angry when I see people who are just like, well, they're not doing anything illegal, so like you can't really be mad at them. It's like this is very clearly a hostile takeover. Like, we're experiencing it in the US via illegal immigration. They're experiencing it in the UK via like the migrant crisis nonsense and refugees, which potato, basically the same fucking thing. And it's like our politicians are assisting these people with both demographic replacement as well as just making citizens' lives worse in general. They're changing the entire culture of these countries. It might not be a hostile takeover like you see in war. There's no guns and battleships and bombs, but it is still a hostile takeover.
So yeah, she's being called a Nazi for this. I mean, if we're being serious, if you look at what's happening in the UK, they will arrest people for posting rude memes and talking negatively about immigrants who are oftentimes in these countries illegally, coming from either Africa or the Middle East. So there's not anything that's particularly a lie. I mean, you could say what you will about what are the intentions of the people that are allowing this mass migration to happen, but the people migrating to these countries like the UK and Italy from these other parts of the world themselves do intend to change the areas that they're going to conform with their culture. With the obvious criticisms of this being that they're not assimilating, which creates conflicts with the native population, and in general that you can't just import hundreds of thousands and millions of people into a country quickly and expect things to just work. Then the article criticizes her for retweeting the White House ICE tip line to aid in the deportation of undocumented Americans. I mean, that's an interesting phrase, undocumented Americans. I mean, if they're illegal immigrants, they're literally not Americans, and they're not undocumented, they're just there illegally. Undocumented sounds more like you forgot your driver's license. It softens up the fact that they are in fact committing a crime to be in the country in the first place. And the US government deporting people who aren't actually supposed to be in the country in the first place is just following the laws, generally doing what they're supposed to do, because why would they just let anybody in just because they want to be here? Not really sure how that makes you a national socialist, but I guess we're just following the trend of anybody that I disagree with is a terrible person and a Nazi. But the context of this article doesn't really come as a surprise if you actually look at who the author is, Anna Valens, who we can kind of get a sense for what kind of person this is from this Reddit post. "Hi, I'm Anna Valens. I'm trans, gay, and a reporter for the Daily Dot. I've covered everything from transphobic memes and right-wing conspiracy theories about gender transitioning to writing about my personal experience as a trans girl. Ask me anything." So obviously that post is 7 years old. Now this person works for Vice, and apparently this person has made a lot of articles like this with a very left-wing slant. A lot of slandering gamers for being right-wing and bigoted, etc., etc. Also, very unsurprisingly, this person is a corn addict, with some interesting tweets and articles to prove that. And then there's these two tweets, which add some additional context to who Anna Valens is, which they are absolutely insane if true. But yeah, this is who we're dealing with. This is who wrote the hit piece on Kirsche Verstahl, the VTuber. So post this article coming out and a lot of angry people on Twitter wanting to cancel her, this game, Crime Boss Rockay City, decided to drop her as a partner. Now what's really confusing about this decision by the devs is that Kirsche really enjoyed this game and was utilizing her community to popularize it. She played it a lot on stream and encouraged her fans to go try it, which is a lot of exposure and promotion for the game. But then they decide to drop her to comply with Twitter freaks who are terminally online and are not actually going to play their game. People who will commend them, saying, "Yes, drop that bigot, don't involve yourself with her." and then they will never actually buy or play this game. You can see here a string of tweets disapproving of this decision. Rip your game. You need to reinstate your partnership with Kirsche Verstahl. She's the reason your game was successful and advertised for you for free for a long time. Crime Boss has heard itself in confusion. In the interest of transparency, did you really drop the only person passionately promoting your game over a blog post written by someone who chose their name to sound like anal violence and who has violent R-word fantasies targeted at abusing women and reducing them to nothing but a breed farm for a specific demographic? Your biggest fan base is going to drop you for being cowards. Kirsche loves your game and you left her the moment waters looked rough. Reinstate Kirsche with contract protections and maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to save your game and get some of us back. And if we take a look at the reviews for the game, it is getting review bombed. Things are not looking very good. And then this tweet came out by Kirsche saying, I went over this on stream today and Asmon mentioned it as well, but the Steam discussion page for Crime Boss Rockay City, they have been deleting threads. The largest thread in support of me was deleted last night. Meanwhile, one posted by one of the people part of the harassment campaign is still up. They have doubled down. So maybe it's them actually believing that Kirsche is a bad person rather than them just pandering to people who are angry on Twitter. This post here saying Kirsche was literally told by these devs that she was one of the main reasons their Steam launch was successful at all. No exaggeration, she was a lifeline for this game that otherwise would have been dead on arrival. She gave this game she loved thousands of eyes, hundreds of players. She did beta testing for them, all for free. She promoted this game and played it on her off time because she genuinely believed in the product and its developers, even when they were making more money off her than she was from them. Then a Vice journal best known for writing about putting cis women in grape camps, playing Fall Guys with a connected vibrator, and writing about Vor comes in and writes a smear job character assassination hit piece. Now I actually checked out gameplay of this game and it doesn't actually look like it's that great. It kind of seems like Payday at first, but then after you lose to like this Chuck Norris character, then it turns into Cyberpunk. But it definitely looks like they're not going to be getting much more money, especially from Kirsche's community. But this has also led to Kirsche seeing more support. I've seen her getting more than 2,000 concurrent viewers, which is awesome. That's good for her. As for the studio behind the game, Crime Boss Rockay City, very weird move to cancel somebody who was one of the biggest supporters for your game and was a major reason, by your own words, that the game succeeded. But that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Helps me make more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.